Hey guys, how you doing? So I spent all day moving the outside inside and I was excited. So we're going to spin the wheel and do a read and see what spirit wants to talk about with the energy. See what sign we have. Virgo. Well, that's fitting considering we have the total lunar eclipse, right? The full moon in Pisces with the sun in Virgo, right? Moon in Pisces, sun in Virgo in 2 days, real time on the 7th of September. And it's going to be huge. So for everybody, not just Virgos or Virgo big three, Virgo placements, pay attention to the house that Virgo rules for you, because this is going to be indicative of what is potentially going on inside that house, right? Energy wise, regardless of how it's read. I would look at it from that perspective because it's giving you some insight. And if you haven't got your secret codename reading yet, you should. You should. It's in the Etsy shop. You guys have 1 day and a few hours left to get your secret codename reading if you would like it for this moon event. Okay, for this moon event. So I've got a couple decks we're going to start with. We're going to start with What's the Tea and a deck of many things to get an overall theme. And then I've got a bunch of other decks to get the details. All right, so Spirit, what is going on with the energy that you would like us to be aware of in regards to this Virgo energy? What is going on? What is going on that we need to know for this Virgo energy? What do we need to know? What's the tea? Starting with what's the tea? 222. I just caught it on the clock. It's been following me the last like 5 days. We got hustling. Give me another one. I feel like there's more. Fake flexing in the reverse. We'll take it. So our first 2 cards out. Hustling is making it rain. It's focus on money and getting it. All right. Fake flexing. This is not acting rich and not being rich. Okay. This is not acting fancy or showing off. This is working hard, getting it, right? Getting that energy and reaping the rewards of it. So whatever house that Virgo rules for you, for me personally, this eclipse is hitting exact to like, I think it's like 20 seconds off because I have a 15-degree Virgo IC line and midhaven, Pisces midhaven. It's hitting me exact. And I feel like depending on where you have this at, that's where you're doing the most work, right? That's where you're doing the most work and it's showing. Right? And it is showing. Wherever you put the work in, wherever you're focused at, that's where the manifestations are happening, right? Regardless of sign or house, or if it's even money related, given Virgo is an earth sign. And you can be rich in many things, right? You could be rich spiritually, you could be rich emotionally, you could be rich in a lot of different things. So I feel like this energy is a nod, right? A spiritual nod to all the effort that you've been putting in. And it actually showing up in the 3D manifestation for you, right? That it's not fake, that it's real and it's legit and it's something you deserve because you've been listening to that divine feminine energy within the self, right? You've been making balanced decisions where you're not just focusing on logic and reason, but you're taking your feminine, how you feel about it, into account. And it's showing, right? And it's showing. What else do we need to know with the deck of many things for the overall theme? skull. Okay. So the skull card is basically a put up or shut up card. It is an ego death through and through. So just like people are manifesting what they're manifesting because they're in alignment, people are also manifesting what they're manifesting because they're not in alignment, right? That would be the adverse. So the skull card is all about going through that ego death. And when you do overcome the ego, right? When you are inside that divine feminine yin energy and calling shots accordingly, where your ego is not in control, right? Where the yang is not just doing whatever it wants to do or what it thinks it needs to do without consulting the intuition, right? Without consulting the way we feel. That is the biggest bonus, right? With this energy, it's like spirit letting you know, if you haven't tuned into your divine feminine in a while, if you haven't tuned into your feelings in a while, now would be the right time to do that. Like, now would be the right time to listen to yourself, because Talons is on the bottom, and Talons is a thief energy. The Talons represent something disappearing permanently, and usually it's in alignment with something that you love or something intuitive. It is divine feminine connected, right? Because the Talons, it's all magic items you possess disappear permanently, and it's being cut off, right? It's being cut off from spirit. It's being cut off from your emotions. It's being cut off from what you love to feel, right? Even the densest spiritual person who has never actually like intuited anything that they're aware of before still has feelings about things, right? We all feel stress, we all feel joy, we all feel love to an extent, even if all of our definitions of love are different. We still feel anger, right? We have feelings. That's divine feminine energy. So feeling cut off is like death while living. You know, it's just going through the motions. It's going through the everyday redundant cycle, which Virgo can represent. You know, it rules the sixth house, which is our health. It is our service as an everyday part of our routine. And it is also the house of servitude and suffering. So, you know, does your everyday feel like a prison, or does your everyday feel like you're tuned in? You know, are you being divinely guided wherever you're going? Are you enjoying the unknown, or are you forcing a certain narrative, forcing a certain lifestyle, forcing certain relationships that just wreak havoc, you know, on your emotional energy, to where you feel completely depleted and you've got nothing left to give, right? I just peeked at the bottom. Hey, Juanita, how you doing? Just peeked at the bottom of the what's the tea, and it says ain't shit on it. There's not even any descriptor words. It's just ain't shit. So whatever the energy is, right, that doesn't feel good, you have to remember that energy ain't shit. You know, these people aren't shit. The situation ain't shit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, it real in the greater divine scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Whoever these people are, whatever these jobs are, whatever these places are, it's not shit compared to what spirit could open the door up for you. And it's a beautiful divine reminder as my phone is going off. Kristen, I love you. I'm getting all these beautiful dings on my phone, these little vibrations on the table. And it's divine confirmation, you know, like when you really extend yourself to spirit and allow yourself to be a vehicle, a mode of transportation, if you will, for spirit to enter into the mundane, to enter into our world through your actions and choices, because you're making aligned choices from within the self, everything changes. Everything changes. The ripple doesn't stop. You know what I mean? The ripple continues. Great, like a butterfly effect, you know, like one choice could end up having profound impacts across the world, you know? And I think it's important to be reminded of that when you heal and you make choices in alignment that are healed choices because they are in consideration of your own inner harmony, that masculine, feminine inner harmony, or yin and yang are getting along and listening to each other and honoring each other. It really does have such a profound impact. And if one person can affect 500,000 people in their lifetime indirectly, right, then it really only takes a few people to change the world, if you think about it. So tune in. Tune in. Hey, Bridget, how you doing? All right. So with that, let's get into the details. Spirit, who are we discussing? I've got my Harrow cards and I've got my hand-drawn cards, the ones that I drew myself. So we're going to see who are the energies at play, who the players in the game are, right? What do we need to know, Spirit, and our highest good about this energy? What is important for us to understand as we move into this weekend, right? This eclipse weekend. What is going on? Who do we need to know about? Whatever is in our highest good to know, save us the rest. Okay. Okay. The big sky is on the bottom, which is big because that's revelation and realizing that you're free, right? Realizing that you're free and that you're not chained or enslaved to your everyday life like you thought. We got three different energies out here. First person, we got the theater with the juggler. Which feels like the person having the revelation. Realizing with the theater that you're an observer, right? The juggler can keep everything moving so long as he's not distracted by other people. But if he does get distracted or falls out of his own energy, everything else falls with it, right? Because he's juggling so many things. So as long as he's focused on what he's juggling, he can maintain it. But if there's distractions, he'll miss what he's juggling, right? And it'll fall apart. And they're the ones, with the theater card. It's a reminder that we are an observer, and it's self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, it's knowing that we already know what's going to happen, and we're witnessing it. Right? As an outside observer, not necessarily someone who is on the stage. So whoever this person is probably juggling the sickness energy, juggling the liar energy, right? Whoever these individuals are, especially if the sickness is not a person, but like an energy shared between the two of them. Realizing or knowing in advance that something is going to possibly fall apart, and knowing there's really nothing you could do to prevent it because alignment is alignment. You know what I mean? If something's got to go that's in misalignment, then something's got to go that's in misalignment. You have somewhere else that you need to be, and so do they, for the spiritual journey that we're all here for. We're not here to focus on some cookie cutter narrative about what life is supposed to be. We all have very unique and authentic journeys. And I feel like someone is being pulled towards the spiritual, towards their authentic path, their connection with the divine. And it's like they know that the energy shift is taking place. They know that the energy shift is taking place. The sickness, right? This card. It's a neutral evil energy, right? The alignment. It represents plague, pestilence, famine, and dis-ease. It can also indicate corruption of the soul or a multitude of souls. People who are compromised by their demons, right? Whether that demon is fear or that demon is insecurity and self-doubt, whether that demon is lust, whether it's lust for power, lust for the physical body, a lust for money, right? And control. The sickness takes hold when the feminine energy is not present at all. And it's all masculine run. It's all fear-based. It's all looking at, the reality of certain things and what you quote unquote need to do to maintain reality, when reality is really beyond your control, which is what eclipse season reminds us of. When we have a divine purpose here, even if we're not tuned into our divinity, it doesn't mean the divine purpose is not there. Eclipse season comes around to shake things back into alignment when we choose too far off our path, and resets us, right? It resets us. The liar energy, this third energy here. It's a chaotic evil energy. It's love at its most treacherous. This is not the love that moves mountains. This is love that rips the heart into and causes lovers to leap to their deaths. This lamia can mean obsession, unrequited passion, or doomed love. Whoever this individual is, they are excruciatingly dishonest with themselves, and therefore also excruciatingly dishonest with whoever they're dealing with, right? Which is likely person number one. I feel like the sickness might be a connection energy between the two of them. I'm going to read you the juggler real quick. Spirit's pulling me to read it. It's chaotic good. Represents fate. The gods are those who play with the lives and destinies of others. If this titanic juggler can keep up his rhythm, he will achieve his goals. If misaligned and he falters, right, tragedy and failure are assured for those lives he's meddled in. So you have somebody who, I can't help but feel like there's somebody who is trying to heal the third energy, right? The liar energy. The issue is they both have that sickness energy between them. And there is something very interesting about the theater being there, because I feel like whoever this person is that's trying to heal the other already knows that they can't. They can't heal them, right? And we can't heal other people. People choose their healing in their own time. Let's get a little bit deeper with the hand-drawn cards. Spirit, what further clarities do we need to understand about these two people and the energy that's shared between them? Clarify the first person, the juggler with the theater. We got the distance and the demon in the reverse. Okay, so person number one probably does have demons of their own that they're working on letting go of. They may have considered themselves locked in with their demons before. Maybe their demons ran the show. I feel like if they're working on healing the third person, they're obviously in their angel energy, right? They're in their earth angel energy, being an earth angel for whoever person the second person is. But it's quite a distance, you know what I mean, to bridge that gap. And who they are today, how they carry themselves and their energy today, the way they make choices today is really a far cry from maybe where they used to be. Like they're not that person that they were anymore, at least in regards to this other person, right? Clarify the sickness energy. What is the dis-ease between them? We got the mirror in the reverse. So it's a false mirror. Okay. It's not a true reflection. Whoever the second energy is, right? The second person, the liar energy, they're not an actual true mirror for the first person. The liar is not a true mirror for the juggler. It is creating dis-ease. Being in a false mirror, we got the wall sitting on top at the moment. Having that energy there, it's like person number one, the juggler, is in the best of their energy, right? They're in their best energy. They're trying to pull that out of the liar, right? The best out of the liar. The thing is, the liar is not a direct mirror for them, which is why it's not healing. It's why it can't heal. Even if these two were to part ways, person number two still wouldn't heal because the mirror is not there. That's the thing about the mirror. It's karma at its best, right? It's what you fail to understand within yourself. You will see it in another. And if you fail to see it, you will become it, right? You will become it. Person number two, the liar, doesn't even see the beauty of the first person, doesn't even see the beauty of the juggler, and won't. It's almost like they'll just move on to the next, right? Like a severely detached NPC. They're chaotic evil. There's no order to them. What's the clarifying energy for the liar? What's the clarifying energy for the liar? What else do we need to know about their energy? What else do we need to know about their energy? The big show, the circus. All right. We got the getaway on top. With the fireplace on the bottom. This person's wreaking havoc. The big show with the liar. All of this that they're doing is for entertainment purposes. It's an act that they're putting on. And when the show is over, they pack it up and they move on and set up shop somewhere else, and they put on the act somewhere else. Just like a circus. It's super vampiric. It's super vampiric. And I can't help but feel with the way this card is drawn that they use sexual energy or chemistry or whatever to provide the means of the show. Like the show must go on. And with the getaway and the fireplace, I feel like this person's keeping secrets and possibly already looking to move on, which person number one may be very well aware of, even though they have no proof of it. That's rough. So, if you're applying this to your chart, it is somebody, right? It's one energy that knows they're trying to work on something, knows they're trying to receive a certain outcome for whoever they're working with in this life, but that whoever they're working with is not actually a true mirror for them. And it is on its way out. It is on its way out. Whether they realize it or not. But I think they do. I think they do. Let's get some insight into this. Let's take it deeper with the tarot. This is the Naked Heart Tarot. We're going to use it for person number one, who definitely feels like the focus of this reading. Whoever they're dealing with is like an NPC. It's a part of the program. They're not an actual player in the game, right? They're an NPC, a non-playing character, and the mirror is not reflecting for them anymore. Person number one has energetically outgrown the mirror. And so, if they can't pull themselves from it, I feel like Spirit is going to pull the NPC out so that they can realign with wherever they need to align with. I feel like this person is juggling memories with time and duty and being stubborn about where they think they're going. There's certain things they can't forget, and there's a reason why they can't forget, because it's a part of their journey. What do we need to know about person number one, this juggler energy? Hey, Meddings, how you doing? What do we need to know about this juggler energy? 10 of Wands. So they're carrying the crosses of the second person, right? Making it their job to carry the weight, especially the spiritual weight, right? The Suit of Wands. And they hold all the love energy, right? They've got all the love stored. They're carrying all the weight. Carrying the crosses of the second person, right? The liar energy. We got the Spirit of Swords or the King of Swords in the reverse. The Seven of Wands. Give me one more and then clarities, please. With the Empress card, the Earth Mother. All right. Clarify these for me, please, Spirit. Their intentions are good. The Ten of Wands came out with the Innocence of Cups. This is someone who is in their empath energy. They probably, one, need to apologize to themselves because they got involved in something they probably already intuitively knew, right? Especially with the theater, was not going to work out. They had high hopes, but if you follow me in my channel, you know hope is a bullshit word. Right? Beautiful name, but a bullshit word. Hope versus faith. You know, hope implies that there could be failure. And if you already are assuming there could be failure, it's probably because there is, right? Failure on that path. Faith, on the other hand, is different because if you have faith, you know, like you know, like you know, even beyond proof that it is going to work out, right? We have the King of Swords reversed, clarified by the Five of Cups. The Seven of Wands, clarified by the Devil. And the Earth Mother is, the Empress is clarified by the High Priestess. This person may have significant Taurus or Pisces in their chart. They could have Taurus in the 12th house or Pisces in the 2nd house. We also have the Devil out here, Capricorn energy, Saturn energy. We've got air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius out here. We've got the Nine of Cups on bottom and the Lovers, Gemini energy on top. This person really did think they could bring person number 2 up. Person number 2 is not meant to be up. Not in this life. That's not the role they signed up for. Not with this person. The King of Swords in the reverse with the Five of Cups. It's like they can't figure out a way to get out of the sadness, to get out of the longing, to get out of the depression, right? That is happening with everything going on. It doesn't make sense to them, right? Why they could have everything they thought they wanted and be so unhappy. It doesn't make sense, right? It does not make sense. It's like they're trying to analyze their way through it or analyze their way out of it, but to no success. And they might actually be failing to see the divine perspective of it all. If person number 2, right, the liar, is not a mirror for them, it's because they needed to see what they were capable of being in their light energy, because I don't feel like this person was in their light before this circumstance, right? They were probably the demon in the lives of other people, right? Wreaking havoc on other people who were trying to heal them because they had some kind of soul light, right? Some kind of residual remnants or resonation, like they were always meant to call their soul pieces back because they had one. They had one. They probably met empath after empath, you know, in their life that was attempting to help them with the soul retrieval because they probably lost it to severe trauma, like early in life. And they were in their shadow, right? Only to meet this second person, right? The liar and the circus energy. And finally be inside their light, right? Finally get back in touch with the parts of them, the beautiful parts of them, right? The empath parts of them that were suppressed or missing, right? If their heart was buried 6 feet under and concreted under, you know, it's like whoever this NPC was, it got them to bring their heart to the surface. The thing is, they're defending it now, right? They're defending it now like an addiction. They're defending the attachment because they feel like they can't feel if it's without this person, which would be a mistake in perspective. They could hold that energy. They could use that energy, the memory of that energy, whenever they need or want to. They know how to be in their light now. They know what it feels like. They know what it looks like. They know what choices they're making, right? Holding compassion or mercy or consideration for the liar energy. Like, they know how to do it. The thing is, they feel like this person is the only thing that can pull it out of them. And that is what is causing the depression, right? That is the severe analysis paralysis. They're trying to fix it because they want to stay in that light energy. They want to stay in that empath energy because it feels good, right? Being an empath, it feels amazing to love, right? Loving love. They want to stay in that energy. And that's why they're defending their addiction or attachment to the second person. The thing is, they already know they're meant to receive it. They're not just meant to give it, they're meant to receive it. They're meant to respect it, right? The Empress with the High Priestess, this is about receiving what the intuition has always felt. They were always deserving of empathic energy. They were always deserving of high feminine energy to receive feel good experiences, stress-free experiences. They just didn't know what to do to hold on to it, maintain it, or honor it. You know, they didn't know how to, I water you, you water me. They just took all the water, you know, and they just soaked it up like a sponge and didn't give it back, you know. And I feel like they held all of this water that they took in from other people and just used it, right? Used it to try to cross the quote unquote desert with person number 2. This is what they always wanted. They wanted that mirror where they could feel this way, where they could feel something like love. I don't think they realized they were in like a spiritual boot camp. What's the insight for person number 2? What is going on with the liar? What is going on with the other energy? What insight is in our highest good to know? Please, Spirit, save us the rest. What is in our highest good to know about what is going on with person number 2? This is my Celtic Tarot. We got the 10 of Swords. We got the 10 of Swords out first. We got the Justice card, Libra energy. And the 6 of Swords. Clarities, please. Ace of Swords, King of Swords. Give me one more. 3 of Coins reversed. Bottom of the deck is the King of Coin. Top of the deck is the Emperor. Okay. So many swords. There is so much air. There's no cups. There's no wands. It is all swords with one coin card. Two if you count the bottom of the deck. This person's all analytics, all mind, no emotion, no soul, no spirit. And they're in control. The Emperor with the King of Coins, they're in control. The truth is, this person is self-sabotaging as fuck. With the Ten of Swords and the Ace of Swords, it's almost like this person can't help themselves. It's like they know they're in control. They know they're in control. And person number one needs them. Dare I say needs them? And it's almost as if they're putting on this show that they would leave, right? The Six of Swords with the Three of Coins reversed. Like, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, I swear to God, I'll leave. I'll throw you out. Like, it's that kind of energy. It's empty threats. It's empty threats. Because I don't feel like this person would actually leave. I think it's person number one that's having the revelation that they can't continue with this. Because this person doesn't feel. This person does not feel. And they're not dumb. They're highly strategic. They hold all the power. They hold the money. This person's a liar. I feel like they're lying through their teeth. And person number one knew that this person couldn't be saved. They were hoping. They were hoping. They thought that person number two was what they always wanted. How could they have everything and be so fucking depressed? They're carrying so much spiritual weight. And they're defending their attachment to this person because they might literally be financially attached to this person, right? With the devil. Especially if there's other people that they're responsible for. But they know it's damaging to them as well. Like, it's not just hurting them. It's hurting everybody who depends on them. That's kind of wild. Yeah, I feel that, Bridget. What you just said, that sat and resonated. It feels like truth to me. Hijack for sure. And I think that's what the second energy is doing. They hijacked person number two's journey. I feel like they're deeply woven into it, right? With how manipulative that energy is, how in the mind, right? It's intricate details. Deeply woven energy. I feel like person number one is trying to hold it all together. They're juggling the chaos of the second person, as well as duties, right? Time. Trying to be solid on the journey, right? Trying to go with the flow, but it's extremely difficult. They don't feel the need or the desire to save person number two anymore. If anything, they're realizing that they're free and they can get out of it. Which, to be completely fair, I feel like person number two would lose their fucking mind because they think they have person number one under complete control. They could do what they want. They could sabotage them. They could betray them. They could backstab them, dishonor them, and person number one's not going anywhere. But person number one is healing. And I think that's the importance of person number two and their chaotic evil energy as an NPC. It's because they're what I would call demonically guided, right? They follow their inner demons, or they have those attachments, right, to them. And they flow where they can attach to shadow. And then eventually they catalyze, right, with the chaos, they catalyze people's healing. Because they're so bad that they force people who were once lost in their shadow, right? Who were once lost in their shadows, whatever those demons were, right? Fear, insecurity, doubt, right? We were talking about them in the beginning. Whatever their shadows were, feeling unworthy, it forces people to look at their demons and say, I don't want to feel this anymore. I don't want to be in this shadow anymore. I deserve better than this. Life was not meant to be a struggle, right? Life was not meant to be hard. I don't want this mirror, this dis-ease, this sickness of the self. I don't want this mirror. Person number two is so bad. What's the divine conversation? Spirit for person number one. What message do you want to get across to person number one? I'm not going to pull divine conversation card for person number two. I don't feel guided to it, and I don't feel like they would listen. I don't feel like they would listen. It would fall completely on deaf ears because they're analytical. They're not spiritual. There's not a spiritual card out there. What is the divine conversation, Spirit, that you would like to have with person number one? What is the divine conversation you would like to have with person number one? If you could talk to them directly right now, what would you talk to them about? What would you help them see? Anything else? Feel grateful and blessed for all you see and all you don't see, know and don't know. Humbling. Be eternally grateful for the experience. Be eternally grateful for the experience because this person unlocked a light in you that you didn't think existed. I've got a lot of conversation cards. Spirit really wants to talk to you. Yeah, it says, darling, you are more capable than you've given yourself credit for. Simply commit. You are more capable than you've given yourself credit for. Commit to yourself. Commit to yourself and your healing. You're capable. It says they mean well, but they're wounded. Keep taking their guidance and you're only wounding yourself. Their story is not your story. They might have good intentions being a provider, but that's all they're doing. They're wounded. They're deeply wounded. Deeply wounded. You already know I've solved your current dilemma. Let me do what I do. Align with it. You are loved and supported always. Spirit's letting you know it has your back. Spirit's already solved the problem. You just have to accept that this person is a problem. And because there is a problem, there is also a solution. Spirit has already solved it. You just need to stop biting your tongue, right? And trust the truth. Just say it. You might have to have a conversation with somebody about what the hell you're dealing with so that you can get out of it. Sometimes self-love includes full consideration of those who love you. And by sometimes, I mean all the time. Invest. Commit to not being abandoned. Whoever loves you unconditionally, right? Truly. Whoever is there for you. This is a reminder that giving to those people, loving them in a language that they understand is important, because they won't shun you or put you out when you're in alignment with what needs to be done, right? If you're, let's just say, I'll use an example, living with somebody and you've got roommates and maybe, you know, it's their house. It's like volunteering to do the dishes without them asking. That's a love language for them. Maybe they're like, oh, thank God you did the dishes because I really wasn't feeling it right now, or wasn't up to it, or I've been really dragging in my energy all day and they needed to get done. It was causing me anxiety. Like, thank you for taking that stress off me. You know, when we are involved with people that love us, they are taking a stress off of us. In this case, it would be person number two, right? They're taking the stress of dealing with person number two off of you. So what can I do to take stress off of them, right? So that I'm not in this situation that I've been in. It says, don't judge the pain reactions of another, their anger and emotional outbursts, their silence. First, acknowledge the pain is present, then accept you are the medicine. And after giving of yourself, give it time to kick in. So this person may in fact start to heal after you're gone, but they won't heal with you. This is about applying wisdom. They're going to react. Demons don't like it when we take their energy supply away from them, right? They don't like it. They're going to be, and that's why I said I feel like this person would lose their shit. And they're going to lose their shit. They're going to make you feel bad for leaving them. Like, I love you, all this shit. They're going to make you feel bad. They might give you the silent treatment. They might try and turn other people against you. They might have emotional outbursts. Like, the sooner you get away from this energy, the better. Accept that what you're being called to do, to get away, right? To get away from whatever this is the right path. Yes, as you don't realize how distracted you are. When is the last time you checked in with what your soul wants to heal or improve? Spirit's having a major conversation with you. This person is a major distraction. They're not a soulmate. They're not a twin flame. They're not the love of your life. They're not the answer. They're not the answer. They're a distraction, right? Talking about hijacked, they're a distraction. The longer you stay inside that energy, it's a distraction. Like, the healing's taken place already. You're free, right? You're free. Your mind is free. The masculine energy on the card is free. It's your heart that feels bound and obligated to stay. But that's the betrayal to the self, right? The betrayal card is under that. You might absolutely need to, quote unquote, betray this person to free yourself. The reality is this person betrays themselves. They know the truth about what they're doing is wrong. They are not ignorant. The Ace of Swords, they know what they're doing is fucked up, and they choose it anyway. They choose it anyway. They know how much you're carrying. They know how much you're trying to juggle. They know how much you quote unquote need them. And they are taking advantage of it. They're taking advantage of it. Like, you got to remember, whoever this person is, they ain't shit. They ain't shit. I feel like they're trying to provoke a response or a reaction out of you. They're trying to trigger conversations to get you to admit just how unhappy you are, how much you don't want it anymore. But you're lying to yourself. That's why you have a liar in your reality. You're lying to yourself. This person was never going to heal with you, but you were always meant to heal inside this mirror. If you were not grateful for certain people in your past, or you were in your own demons, right, your own insecurity and chasing whatever that brought you to this second person, I think you're well aware of the mistake and how your best energy at the time got you where you were at. Your best energy wasn't that great. Getting back to the overall theme, right? The skull card, like, this requires a major ego death, or this person's just going to destroy you. You know, they're going to destroy your energy. They're going to completely wreak havoc on your life and the people that depend on you, right? Especially if you have children. It's extremely toxic for them as well. You can hustle. You can make money. You can make it rain. You can not just hustle in the traditional sense by like getting a job. Like, you could hustle at home. Like, let's just say you got to move home with your parents kind of thing. You can fucking hustle, right? You can hustle and know that you deserve to be where you're at, and that you're welcomed where you're at, because you're hustling. You're doing what needs to be done to maintain it, right? To maintain it. That sometimes self-love includes full consideration of those who love you. And by sometimes, I mean all the time, right? Invest. Invest in the people who make your life easier. This second person is so toxic. It's sad. They're wounded, deeply wounded, and it's sad. And you can't save them, which I'm sure is heartbreaking. It's crushing. You can't save them. But you really can and should save yourself. You really should save yourself. What's the guidance, please? I'll catch up on the comments at the end once the reading's done. I love you so much, Bridget. What is the guidance, please? What is the final guidance message? This is The Journey of Love Death by Alana Fairchild. What is the final guidance card in our highest good spirit to receive at this time? We got 2. Ethereal touch, and the bride offers herself. It's card 27 and card 43. Okay. Card number 27. Ethereal touch. It says, Spirit is present in your very touch at this time. and you are having an impact on the world around you, particularly your close relationships, in ways that are far more profound than may be immediately obvious. The touch of your soul is ethereal, spiritual, of light and sound. It moves the heart and opens pathways of possibility through love, faith, and trust that would otherwise be impossible to access. Trust in the presence of the divine in your touch, physical and spiritual. Your healing presence is making waves of love rise and stir in this world, and the divine lives and breathes through you. Remember that though the sacred temple of your body gifts you with hands through which to hold and give, it is the soul within the flesh that renders touch a sacred healing. This oracle guides you to accept and embrace your healing abilities and to trust that you could feel your way through life by opening your hands to receive and taking hold of the opportunities that are presented to you. You are meant to touch the world with your spirit. In a world of no coincidences and no mistakes, you were heaven sent. I thank God for the opportunity to know you, to experience your kindness, your generosity, and most of all, your love. How long I have waited to open my heart, to bare my soul, to let my power comfort and my arms hold, to let my wisdom counsel and my love awaken. While this is only the beginning, when I look in your eyes, I know. I feel with that card that's to truly remember that we do feel the presence of other people, the concern in other people. Like, it's talking about particularly close relationships to you, right? When is the last time you took time out for your kids, especially if they were dealing with such a person, right? The presence of such a person, the stress of such a person as a kid. And just say, it's okay. I know it's bad. And hold them. Give them a hug and let them know that you don't know what the answer is right now, but you're going to figure it out. That you know that they're upset, right? That's being spiritually present. That's letting your soul be present. Like, I know it's bad. It's okay. We're not going to stick around. We're going to figure it out. We're going to leave. And acknowledge, right, that your energy can be healing instead of staying with such a toxic person, and teaching your children that being and putting up with toxic is necessary because you don't believe in yourself or you don't believe that you're worthy of saving. To relay the message to your children that they are worthy of saving and that you're not going to ignore the way that they feel or the damage that is being done, and that you will tune into a solution, that you will find a solution in faith and trust, right? That spirit has solved it. You just need to align. When's the last time, right, you checked in with yourself and allowed that energy to become real and ripple? I had that moment with my son when he was younger. I was living with my mother, who is grossly similar to person number 2, and to be fair, so is my ex. And my son was so upset after dealing with my mother, after dealing with my sister, the two of them. And I just held him because he was fucking crying. And I just held him. I said, it's okay. I said, I don't know what the answer is, but we're going to figure it out. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with that. You're just a kid. You're just a kid. This is a grown ass adult who is severely wounded, and their wounds are bleeding out all over you, like, in so many words. And I was like, we're not going to stick around. I said, I don't know what we're going to do yet, but we're going to get out of here. And a door opened because I stopped biting my tongue. I even audio recorded my mother. I audio recorded her on my phone because no one was going to believe me. That was something that she did behind closed doors. She put on that beautiful facade, like she had it all together. She was the hostess with the mostest. She was the best. She was the best mother of the year. Mother of the year, grandmother of the year. So I just hit the voice recorder on my phone and kept it in my hoodie pocket and let her go the fuck off like she always did. Not realizing that other people don't necessarily deal with shit like that. And I went to my boyfriend at the time and I said, help me deal with this. I don't know what to do. I wasn't looking for a solution, but I said, how do I deal with this? And I played it for him. I recorded her for over a half an hour. And I played it for him. And within the first 3 minutes, he started crying. And he goes, oh my God, Grace. And to me, it was normal. Like, I was just like, I didn't understand his reaction when he was like, you're moving in this weekend. And I looked at him, I was like, you literally just, that was not the point of me telling you, you know what I mean? He goes, Grace, you are moving in this weekend. We'll figure it out. Kevin can have his own room. Like, we're moving you in this weekend. He goes, if you're not going to take my truck and go get your shit, he's like, I'm going to take my truck and go get your shit. He's like, you can't stay there. And I didn't realize how bad it was because I grew up with it my whole life. Seeing his reaction, you know what I mean? It was just like, oh my God. Like, that's what you're dealing with? Maybe that's your answer. If someone is so fucking bad and no one would believe you because they're so deeply woven into your life and your reality and the people that, you know, you depend on, maybe you just have to record them unfiltered. Just put the voice recorder on your phone. Be like, please help me deal with this. What am I supposed to do? See what answers you get. See what answers you get. Maybe they'll help you outright. Maybe they'll figure out a solution for you. Maybe they will start putting some puzzle pieces together and connecting some dots and making some calls to get you out of a terrible situation. But you can't bite your tongue and pretend it's not a problem. I knew it was bad. I didn't realize how bad. I was so used to it. You know what I mean? The bride offers herself. There is a sacred offering taking place, an offering of the divine feminine. This may manifest in a physical way, in that a woman of great feminine wisdom is offering herself to you. To accept this offering with love, reverence, and respect, it will bring good fortune. Accept what is being offered now. Whether through challenge or an easing of the way forward, there is a gift of grace from the divine feminine reaching for you now. Allow her in and be blessed. Don't be afraid of who and what you are. Sharing yourself and willingness to connect. Your vulnerability and beauty will be acknowledged and will attract the response you need in the perfect way. How careful we must be close. How fragile we must feel. How sad not to be when someone is real. To say approach with caution when we already know that inside there's a likeness and experience goes slow. Take your time, baby steps, one at a time. Divine feminine. The divine feminine, the wisdom of receiving. The wisdom of receiving. You deserve better than this. You deserve better than this. You deserve better than this person. You deserve better than carrying the crosses they bear. You deserve better than their demons. You deserve better. And when you're honest to a heart space who knows you're worth more than this, that you deserve better than this, that you don't deserve to be emotionally, psychologically, physically, financially, psychologically, right, spiritually abused. When you're honest with yourself that you don't deserve this, when you could be honest with other people who understand that you don't deserve this, a way will be shown. A way will be shown. And if you know you don't deserve this and somebody that you think loves you tells you, oh, well, you just need to work it out with them, blah, 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 they don't love you. They might be supposed to love you. Like my father was supposed to love me, but he was telling me to just deal with it. Just deal with it. That's your mother. I said, I don't care who the fuck she is. I don't care what label my mother. I deserve better than that. My father did not love me the way I deserved to be loved. But the people that love you truly will be like, you don't deserve that. And they will help you. They will help you find a way out. The way is there. When I was with my ex, I was definitely dependent on him for mobility. We only had one car. It was his. He made the bulk of the money. My online work was good. It could pay the utilities and the internet and buy food and stuff, but I couldn't do all of that and pay rent. He was paying for the rent, holding that over my head on top of it. And when I was finally honest about it, my soul family came through huge. My soul family came through huge. Not my blood, not my family, not my brother, not my sisters. My soul family did. Meta got me in a moving truck. Karen, for as crazy as she was, put me up with my son. And from there, I was able to get to where I'm at now. My soul family showed up. I was able to get a hold of wheels. I was able to get a hold of the moving truck, everything. Elisa, again, like my soul fam came through in such huge ways. Huge ways. Sherry was there, supporting me through it. Everybody who booked readings at the time and kept money coming in for me and my son supported me through it. I got out. I got out. I was able to save myself. The people that love you will show up and support you through and through. If you're in this kind of situation, first be honest with yourself that you're not happy, that you're severely depressed and juggling way too much. And it's affecting and hurting the people that you love and care about who depend on you. And they don't deserve that. No different than you don't. Choose your healing. Choose your healing. You might not know what you deserve, but you know it's not that. You know it's not that. Whoever the second person is, you deserve better than that. And that is the message. I'm going to catch up on the comments now. Me and Bridget here. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, my ex did too. He had emotional attachments to people that he was fucking video gaming with. He had people. He was meeting people on Snapchat. He had all kinds of stuff. He used to fuck around with people at his work. He was cheating on me with somebody at his work. Mm-hmm. I get concerned about that too. Conversations with me as other people. That's why I only keep literally 22 friends on my friends list. Of all the people in the world, I only have 22 people on my friends list. That's it. You can't even look me up. And unless I'm talking to you on a regular basis and I know who the hell you are, you can't see my friends list either. It's not public. It's not even available to my friends. Like friends of friends can't see my friends list. For that reason, I've had exes, like not just the one, but different exes who have tried to contact me as different people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the energetic connection is strong. And here's the thing. The only reason why it's strong, like I said, this person is quote unquote demonically guided, right? They're guided by their demons. They can only attach to you and your energy if you have shadow that you can latch onto, that they can latch onto, right? When you start to heal those wounds within yourself and heal those shadows in yourself, and recognize that anybody who would even believe a word of what the fuck this person is saying is not meant to be in your mirror. They're not in your highest good, or they wouldn't believe them. You know, even if that means everybody's gone. And when I left my ex, that was the case. Short of my soul family, right? The connections that I had maintained at the time, everybody that I loved in connection to my ex was gone. They were all gone. They bought into whatever lies he was telling them. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. None of it was true. None of it was true. Telling them I cheated on him, I was using him, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I never cheated on you. I wasn't using you. If anything, it was the other way around. I was putting out more money in utilities and bills and food than he was paying in rent. It was the other way around. I didn't have a penny to my name when I left him. But he had paid off his credit cards and saved all kinds of money when he was with me. You know what I mean? Who was using who? Who was using who? They create all kinds of toxicity. And once you realize that everybody in connection with them is gone, and that you're better off without all of them, no matter who they are, there is no more shadow to connect with. There just isn't. And they could try. Like, I have one ex who still on rare occasion will pop up on my YouTube channel and leave a comment. You know what I mean? Like, letting me know he's still stalking me. It's like, go get a fucking life. Go get a life. Go figure it out. Go find your soul and live in alignment with your soul. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Good for you. Full-time job, full-time course as a therapist, family, like, good for you. Time is golden. True facts. Yeah. Yeah, the separation is solid. Separation gets solid. That's how I feel about my ex. That's how I feel about my ex. At one time, I literally considered him my twin flame. I thought he was my twin flame. He was never my twin flame. He was a catalytic mirror. For me, I could never heal him. He just took the circus somewhere else. He just took the circus somewhere else. I couldn't heal him. But Spirit knew there was a light in me that I had to tune into. And it was that love of self, right? That spiritual path, that love of self. Spirit knew it was there. I've been an empath my whole life. I grew up in crazy shit. The best of us do, right? When we sign up for this path, as empath, as soul lights, like, we have to go through the trauma young so that we could help other people through it. We have to know what it looks like. We have to know what narcissism looks like. We have to know what psychological disorders and psychopathy and sociopathy look like. We have to know so that we can help other people recognize it. We have to be able to heal and get out of it so that we can show other people that there is a way. We have to find our worth and know that we're deserving so that we can teach other people, so that we can be that lighthouse, that voice box. We have to. I don't have any regrets. I fully appreciate the mirror with my ex, all of them for that matter. But am I stupid? Do I think that he could heal and that we would work out one day? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's the fucking sideshow. Absolutely not. Yeah. I didn't think I could ever love somebody the way that I loved him. I really didn't. I stayed and defended that attachment so hard because I didn't think I could ever love anybody the way I loved him. And I realized when I left him, I could love myself that way. I could love myself that way. And if and when the right person is meant to align with me, if that is in my highest good, whatever spirit would have me do, whatever spirit would have me say, wherever spirit would have me go, like if it's in the highest good of all, spirit's going to align it because I'm aligned with it. I've aligned myself with spirit. I trust the divine feminine wisdom within myself, that voice of spirit within myself, that is my intuition, right? That is my emotional response. This doesn't feel good. That's not in alignment then. You shouldn't feel this way, Grace, right? You deserve better than feeling like that. We've already come to that conclusion. We've made this decision. Why don't we just let this go and trust? Why don't we let it go and trust? Spirit's never steered me wrong, never failed me ever. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome, Bridge. These are beautiful divine conversations, and it's validation. Like, you're not wrong. You made the right choice for yourself. Just like whoever I'm talking to tonight, like, really needs to understand that they deserve better than what they're dealing with. It's a part of this process, man. I would not be able to give this message if I didn't experience it myself. I wouldn't be able to give it. Yeah. It's a game. It's all manipulation. It's all the mind. That's why we got all them swords out there. Your printer's at work. Really? That's so fucking wild. That's so fucking wild. People will go through some crazy shit to try and throw you off your energy, to try and invade your energy and make you feel like you're not safe. Be like, no, I am safe. I'm spiritually safe. Spirit has my back. And I understand you're trying to attach to the shadow that you used to attach to, that used to get me worked up, that used to upset me, that used to cause me anxiety, that used to stress me out. And I just don't fucking care anymore. Like, how about that? I just don't fucking care anymore. You know, like, my exes could pop up on my YouTube and leave me comments. I don't fucking care. It's just like, block, delete. They could shoot me an email, block, delete. Like, it just, I'm living my life. I've gone on with my life. Like, there's nothing there to upset. How am I going to get upset? I don't fucking care. I've moved on from all that stuff. Yeah, we're here to learn this crap and help others. Yeah. To help heal the imbalances of the world. Yeah. People don't realize how much spirit supports them. You know, the system has been stacked against humanity for enslavement, to keep the mind busy, to keep the mind distracted, to vilify and erase the divine feminine. Right? God is a man. All of the leaders of the church are men. All the leaders of the world are men, right? It's all men. Men are the head of household, men. Like, and it's that way, not because men are evil, but it's that way of man is important. Man, masculine is important. Don't listen to the feminine. The feminine is not important. The feminine is invalid. The feminine is not honored, right? It reflects inward and outer. Everything mirrors from a micro to the macro. The reason why the world is so out of balance, the reason why there is so much shit going on, the reason why there is war and death and killing and all of this abuse of time, where we're enslaved to a system and a 9 to 5 clock, is because the masculine has been prioritized with no feminine balance. Like, it's not just God the masculine, there's also God the feminine, and they're meant to work together. One is not meant to be ignored. Like, Sophia completely taken out of the Bible. Lilith completely shot to shit. She's a demon. She's a demon. But Eve, who, gave in to Adam and was submissive to Adam and would let Adam be in control, like, she's the one that's glorified. What? You know what I mean? People forget Mother Mary. People forget Mother Mary. It's all about Jesus. What about Mother Mary? What about Mary Magdalene? What about Mary? What about Mary? The beauty of the Bible is the masculine, right, was sacrificed. It was the feminine that survived it. Kept that legacy going. Kept the stories going. It's the sacrifice of the ego, the sacrifice of the masculine to call the shots and run the show, to surrender. Jesus trusted Mary Magdalene so much in ways the Bible would never tell us. She's the reason why his legacy continues. She was his right hand. She was his right hand. He trusted her more than anyone. The feminine. There is yin and yang, not just yang. It is literally divine law, universal law. The law of genders is the law of masculine and feminine. And there is the universal law of oneness. The masculine and the feminine are not meant to be separate. You're defying universal law, which is why there is chaos and pain and suffering. The masculine mind is supposed to work with and surrender to the feminine wisdom that is. That is how you end this horrible cycle of karma and suffering. Really. You can't have one without the other. The masculine, the mind calls the shots. It calls the shots. Everybody has that choice-making ability. Everybody thinks. Everybody has a mind. When it's in control, it's called ego. When it's dismissive of the feminine energy and it's running on its own, it's called ego. But the masculine energy, when it's in alignment with the feminine, it is harmony. It is divine. That shot calling ability does not have to fall into ego. It can fall into alignment. You just got to pick which side of the coin you're, you know what I mean? You're going to fall on. Do you want to fall on your ass? Or do you want to rise? Do you want peace in your life? Do you want balance and harmony in your life? Or do you want to suffer it out because this is what the system told you to do? Listen to your inner voice. That is how the divine speaks to you. That is the feminine. That is the voice of God, source, universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it. Your intuition, how you feel after you receive what you've chosen. Receiving the experience of what you've chosen. When my intuition was not in touch with myself, in touch with my energy and my own inner harmony, And my masculine mind, my ego is calling all the shots. I didn't want to be wrong about my twin flame. I didn't want to be wrong. I didn't want to be worthless. I didn't want to be hurt. I didn't want to be abandoned. All of these fears, right, was keeping me attached to that fucking psycho. Keeping me attached. But when I tuned into what I felt, I was like, Grace, you hate this. Take the label off and he's just a person. Take the twin flame label off and he is just a person and he's fucking making you miserable. He is running you into the fucking ground. You deserve better than this. You don't deserve to feel like this. That conversation he had with me where I said, I don't deserve this. And he goes, yes, you do. And I said, no, I don't. And he said, yes, you do. You choose it every day. Choose. Masculine principle. You choose it every day. And I said, you know what? You're right. Right? Lightning struck my brain, right? Epiphany. Revelation. You're right. I'm not choosing it. Not one more day. And I broke up with him right then. With no money in my account and no car and a 15, almost 16-year-old kid at the time. I was like, you're right. I broke up with him right then. And within 3 weeks, I was moved out. With my son. Spirit had the solution. It was all worked out. I tuned into my feminine energy and chose accordingly. You're right. I'm choosing it every day, even though it doesn't feel good. I'm not choosing it anymore. It didn't feel good. That energy tried to pop up in other people. And I said, no, I'll keep moving. One stepping stone to the next stepping stone, one step at a time. Now I've been at this apartment for almost 3 years. 3 years. It is the most stability I've ever been able to maintain since I moved out of my parents' house. It's stable. My son is better off. I'm better off. I can do as I'm guided whenever I'm guided and it feels amazing. I could take time off when I need time off and it feels amazing. I could take care of my body when I need to take care of my body and it feels amazing. I could sleep when I want to sleep and not worry about when I got to wake up and it feels amazing. It's amazing. Spirit is good. Spirit's good. Yeah. I love myself. I love myself. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the masculine forgot how to be the warrior, the hunter, and the protector of the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Yeah. 100%. And that's exactly it. Like, I stand to love myself as a lover. Like, if you could be in a relationship with anybody, ideally, like, you got to be that for yourself. You got to accept that for yourself. Love yourself the way you deserve to be loved and want to be loved. Protect yourself as you deserve to be protected, right? Yeah, be in that warrior energy to protect yourself. To respect yourself like a sage would. 100%, Bridge. 100%. 100%. Spot fucking on. Spot fucking on. It's the truth. Sometimes everybody in your world has to go. Sometimes you're lucky and you have a few people out there who can come together at those beautiful divine moments and support you in ways that you would have never imagined possible, and trust yourself to take those guided steps the rest of the way. To let it be. To let the surrender be. To let the flow be. To let spirit do what it does. Spirit works in the realm of miracles. Spirit works in the realm of fucking miracles. Sometimes it's above our pay grade. But spirit, it's never above spirit's pay grade. Spirit's the one who sets the payroll. Fucking facts. Spirit's the ultimate divine CEO. For real. I hope this message has been helpful for everybody who caught it and who catches it in divine time. Bridget, I appreciate you so much for being up in the chat, for real. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Spirit, that's the goal. To be a great mirror. That is the goal. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Because everybody is capable of healing. Everybody is capable of healing. Everybody is capable of harmony and joy. And if I'm in your mirror, Spirit loves you. Spirit loves you. Do not forget that. Spirit loves you and supports you. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. That's why you found this channel and this message. You know? Spirit loves you. Love yourself, protect yourself, respect yourself, honor yourself. That is the message. Bridget, have a wonderful night. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. Thank you. And love and support to everybody. Spirit's with you all the time. Bye, everyone.